Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today's September 1st. Happy first day of meteorological fall, and you can see precipitation ongoing across some of the areas now. Upper level low has arrived in Northern California. Monsoon moisture for Arizona, Eastern California, and places like Las Vegas across Nevada. We'll take a look at those details coming up, as always. And right now we'll start with the mid-level water vapor loop. You can see all the lightning across Mexico moving up into Arizona here. Las Vegas under the gun for some flash flooding. Phoenix, some strong winds possible with this monsoon moisture out here. And of course, we got this upper level low spinning across Northern California. Some lightning strikes already associated with it. Some pretty heavy amounts coming in here as well. We'll take a look at some of the high resolution models for areas across the state of California, Nevada, and Utah. Take a look here. September 1st, SoCal weather history. Remnants from Hurricane Flossie. And look at this. 4 people were struck by lightning. 2 were killed. So heads up for that. When you hear thunder out there, you know that you can be in danger. And check this out. Another interesting feature. 2011 massive southern hemisphere storm generated a large swell that moved all the way across the Pacific Ocean and did some damage along the coastal areas of California. Interesting stuff there. And this is kind of looking at that map. You can actually see when these waves are generated here across southern, southern portions here. It is their, they're just coming out of their winter season now. It's actually their first day of meteorological spring down there, but you can still get some pretty good storms, and those can, generate big surf and swell, and it can move all the way across the Pacific Ocean and impact places like Hawaii and California. This is looking at lightning safety here. Take shelter, stay away from trees and tall objects, avoid water when thunder roars, go indoors. You guys know the drill, of course, unless you're a storm chaser. Thunderstorms possible today, and you can see Redding, Chico, Yuba City, and just off of Sacramento here, but typical impacts here, and this goes through about 8 p.m. tonight. That's going to continue on for the next couple of days as well. And you can see a lot of flash flood watches out here, especially for the burn scar areas. This is Eureka, California, showing those flooding concerns. Includes Chico here and a lot of the higher terrain where the recent fires have been burning. You can see the similar map here for Flagstaff, Arizona. Flash flood watches all over the place for Arizona, Nevada, Eastern California. Actually, a flash flood warning was ongoing this morning just northeast of Las Vegas. Strong storm risk, mainly a wind threat here. Some gusts over 60 miles per hour are possible. You can see that does include Flagstaff, Phoenix, Needles, Blythe, and it will include Las Vegas, Nevada today. There's also a wind advisory as well. Very active weather day. This was put out yesterday, but it's going to continue on in through today, 9 p.m. Some pretty gusty southerly winds coming across the region, up over 50 miles per hour possible. And this is looking at that 10-meter wind gust here. This is last night's European run. You can kind of see across some of central Nevada and some of the higher terrain here, getting some gusts up over 40 and 50 miles per hour there. So just kind of a heads up if you're out and about there, especially north of Las Vegas. Flash flood watch today does include Las Vegas. Look at that. They are in the slight risk, including portions of St. George into Utah here and a lot of Arizona as well, and extreme southeastern California there also. So heads up for that. Turn around, don't drown when you see water over the roadways here. Big precipitation amounts. We'll take a look at some of the weather model maps for that in a moment as well. Now this is looking at last night's European run. You can see the trough carved out over Northern California. It does not want to go anywhere, just kind of hanging out, but eventually finding a trough from the Pacific Northwest, swings it on through here. And then we start to turn our eyes to this ridge trying to build here. And look at this, European now showing this tropical system developing down there. Where is it going to go? Is it going to take its normal route and head off to the west here? Or is this thing going to bubble around here and try to spread some moisture back up over California and Arizona? Something to watch here over the next few days. Let's see what the GFS, hot off the press, it's running now. Let me update it and get all the information on this run. Put it into motion. You can see a good short-term agreement with that upper level low getting kicked out as we go through the day Monday. Excuse me. Troughing hangs out again. It looks a little bit like here on the GFS, but you can see that tropical moisture down here. Let's see what it does. Bubbling around. You can see it trying to move up towards Baja here. So the GFS, not in agreement, actually turns in maybe a tropical storm there. And look at this thing. Wants to get close to Southern California here and try to spread some moisture northbound. So definitely something interesting to watch there. It can't happen this time of year. The San Diego National Weather Service with this day in history, it usually talks about a lot of the big impacts there are from tropical systems that move their remnants up over the area. So we'll watch that one closely. This is the European last night's run. Check out some of these amounts across Northern California. Look at Nevada and Utah and Arizona. Some big amounts out here. Nice summertime rainfall incoming here, folks. And look at some of the amounts across Northern California, the higher terrain, Northern Sierra Nevada here, 3-4 inches for some local areas. And you can see that this comes fast and furious over some burn scar areas, you can produce some pretty dramatic flooding here as well, which can affect some of the communities nearby. This is looking at the NAM 3KM 12Z run here, total precipitation in inches, and look at all this precip coming across Utah, Nevada, Arizona. Look at some of the higher terrain of Southern California as well. I mean, you're getting up 2-3 inches locally from some of these thunderstorms in Northern California as well, and some of this could possibly fall pretty fast and furiously over some of the burn scar areas. So heads up, if you are in and around some of those burn scar areas across Northern California, be aware when you're watching the Doppler radar, pay attention to some of those flash flood warnings if they do materialize. And look at all this precip across Nevada here as well, as this upper level low takes its time moving across the area, going to continue to bring some activity up from the south across the region. Interesting stuff. GFS, last night's run. So this is precipitable water. And you can see that low pressure system spinning here, allowing for this plentiful moisture to come up over the area. This is now looking into Saturday afternoon. Now we're into Sunday morning. Continues to spin off the coastline there before it finally starts to kick off to the east and northeast. And then we turn our eyes to the ridging trying to build here. Somewhat of a suppression of the monsoon signal here as we go on in towards early September. But there goes that tropical system down here, and let's see what it does. Precipitable water, you can see it trying to reach up towards Southern California. Doesn't quite make it here, but that's pretty close. So it's something worth watching. As we remember with Tropical Storm and Hurricane Hilary, the GFS actually sniffed out the track of that storm up Baja before the European did. So, you got to give the GFS a little bit of credit and follow along with what it's saying. This is looking at yesterday afternoon's European. Let's see what it says. You can see the upper level low spreading that moisture across the region here. And we get somewhat of a suppression here of the monsoon signal. There goes that tropical system. It's showing it now, but the GFS kicks that thing off to the east, and this would be much more of an impact for the Hawaiian Islands here, bringing some increased moisture on in through the extended forecast, but it does not show that track coming up to Southern California. But we're definitely going to be watching it here because we've seen this play out before with Hurricane Hilary. So anyway, we'll watch that as we go. This is National Blend of Models. Look at the temperature suppression today across Northern California. The clouds spinning across the area. Nice day out there. Get your jackets on if you're out there across Sacramento. Not used to that chilly temperature. But you can see we kind of stay seasonably cool here across the region, but then we potentially warm back up next week, and we're going to build a ridge here and maybe, build these temperatures back up again here, and then we'll see what that tropical system does later. But anyway, kind of fantasy forecast off in the extended right now. Here's 6 to 10 day, near normal across California. The further you go east, though, the ridge is going to have a bigger impact with some of those temperatures. And there's that monsoon suppression showing up here with the National Weather Service through September 10th. And the fires out here. Let's take a look at what the HRRR has to say in a moment as far as that smoke goes. But you can see the smoke kind of, including a lot of California, down at the valley areas. Some degraded air quality is out there. But now let's look at the HRRR. This is surface smoke. Put it into motion here, and you can see the kind of the spin in the atmosphere here with that. But look at this. It really quenches a lot of this fire activity here as we go in through Saturday afternoon. Do you believe it? I mean, some of the fire is still smoldering, obviously, but this really kind of shuts things down. This upper level low nicely placed across Northern California here, and the Sierra Nevada not doing too bad also. I don't know if this was a prescribed burn or something going on out here or what that is, or if a fire started. But anyway, yeah, nice signal there for that surface smoke really getting taken out of the air. This is looking at percent of average precipitation. This is basically meteorological summer, and you can see where Tropical Storm Hilary really bumped those numbers up here. But look at the Bay Area and some of the coastal regions, Northern California, well below average here. And a lot of Arizona, the monsoon season has not been very robust as far as precipitation amounts in some portions of southeastern California as well. This is average temperature, departure from average, and you can see kind of a little bit below average here for the summertime across a lot of Nevada, California, Arizona, a little bit above average here. In Phoenix, a pretty darn right hot summer. It's already very hot across some of these regions here. So when you keep things 3-4 degrees above average, it really can become oppressive. And this is looking at the last 365 days. Look at this precipitation anomaly, though, from the last winter and early spring here, and some of this stuff from Tropical Storm Hilary moving up across the region, this precipitation. So doing quite nicely here. Kind of an interesting deficit, though, across Northern California. Hopefully we can really eat lead into that with this storm system occurring right now, and as we go on into the fall and winter months. This is January 1st to August 31st. How are we doing so far this year? About 0.4 of a degree above average as a whole overall, and you can see the big yin and yang between the west and the east. And this is for meteorological summer, June 1st to August 31st. You can see kind of below average signal here across some of the southwest, a little bit above average for some portions of California, quite a bit above average for the Pacific Northwest and some of Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, on in through Louisiana and Arkansas there. But anyway, yeah, nice storm system here. We'll watch this one go. And of course, we got something interesting to watch with that tropical system rolling around. But heads up out there, a lot of monsoon moisture up over the area today. This low is going to take a few days to get out of here as well. So watch out for your flooding concerns across the higher terrains, especially for Northern California. And especially, again, doubly so across some of the burn scar areas. Could have some interesting flooding scenarios unfolding here with this prolonged precipitation across some of the region here. Not even so much prolonged, but just kind of individual storms training over any certain area. So anyway, yeah, I hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.